Merhabalar. Study'in Birleşik Krallık Üniversiteler Temsilcisi Study'in sunmuş olduğu webinar serisine hoş geldiniz. Bugünkü webinar serimizde Regents University London var. Ivana Dundovic temsilcisi bizimle birlikte olacak ve okulun kabul koşulları, kampüs olanakları gibi okulun imkanlarından bahsedecek. Şimdi Ivana'yı da alabiliriz. Hello, Ivana.
Hello.
How are you doing? Welcome.
Good, thank you. How are you?
Thank you. We will be talking about Regents University London, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much for having me today. First of all, thank you to the whole studying team for being such an amazing partner.
Thank you for joining us.
For giving me a platform to speak to your students. I'm not sure because obviously I can't see any students, but hi to whomever is watching this. My name is Ivana and I'm the Regional Recruitment Manager here in Regents University London. I'm here to talk to you about some of the courses, some of the offerings that we have. It's still not too late to apply for September. If you didn't get into your first choice university or if you're still thinking about where you want to go, this is the perfect time to consider Regents if you're keen to study in central London. But let me share my screen now and let's get into PowerPoint because I think that will be more useful for everyone. Give me 1 second. Share screen. Can everyone see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. You can see the PowerPoint, yeah?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, perfect. So welcome to Regents, everyone. This is where we are. So we're located in the heart of London's iconic Royal Regent Park. It's not a big campus, it's quite a small campus, but it's a very big park in a very big city. It's basically 11-acre campus and it offers kind of a unique blend of like natural beauty and the city itself because we're located in central London in Regent's Park, but because we're in the park, we're in the green, we're kind of hidden in plain sight. So if you've ever been to London, if you ever walked through Regent's Park, you might have just walked right past us without even knowing. There's over 130 nationalities on campus, so it's a very, very high mix of different nationalities. And it's a very secure campus, 24/7 security, of course. Although we are in central London, it's very important to emphasize on this because I know some parents are worried about their children being 18 and by themselves in a foreign country in such a big city. We have our own campus accommodation, so the students who are staying in our accommodation are safe 24/7, as well as the students who, of course, don't live on campus but are just attending different degree courses, etc. The campus is, as I said, city centre, so it's just steps away from London's really vibrant scene, from Marylebone's boutique shops and cafes and restaurants. We offer a tailored experience. So unlike many universities, we know our students by name. There's only 4,000 students on campus. So again, a very small university, but a private university. So we take care of our students in a little bit of a different way than other public universities do. The academics really, really take time to understand your unique goals that you might have, your ambitions, your learning styles and objectives. So if you want to feel seen and you want to feel heard and empowered in yourself, then Regents is definitely a place for you. Because we're small, we get to tend to every student, personally, basically. Unparalleled global connections are very important to emphasize on in Regents. Because here, the CEOs and senior leaders of international companies are joining us on campus. They're delivering talks, they're delivering different TED Talks, they're delivering in-class talks and case studies that you then work on for a grade. And they're all highly connected and they're industry leaders in their respective fields. you'll basically, if you join Regents, you will take part in a rich variety of learning opportunities from, as I said, from guest lectures to master classes to collaborations and live projects. So a very, very interesting and modern place to be in. This is where we are again. So in case you've ever been to London, but you don't know what I'm talking about, this is where we are basically. So just off of Baker Street, if you've ever been to Madame Tussauds, the wax figure museum. If you've ever been to Sherlock Holmes' house, this is where we are, basically. Just around the corner from all of that and 20-minute walk from everywhere, city central, basically. Okay, let's get into it. I have a video here from our VC, just a couple of words from him. It's just like a 30
So here at Regents, we offer the opportunity for our students to start their studies with us in January as well as in September. So if you're looking to join a highly selective cohort of globally minded students to study in a world-class setting where academics and support staff alike know you by name and where you can cultivate valuable lifelong connections and networks, then this is the place for you. And you can start as soon as January 2025. But don't just take it from me, listen to some really important people. This is what our students have to say.
My name is Maya Kenyette.
Tomtinda Chigumbu Rashid.
Tyler Chalira. Madalena. Danya Salom. I really liked the course and how the practical business side of fashion was also involved in the course. It's because of the campus. The campus was really beautiful, and also my parents. My parents loved the fact that the campus had a bunch of security and it was in a nice place.
So I saw that it had good potential for networking and exposure for myself, being able to speak to lectures.
Because of the location, because it's so central, it's so near to Marylebone, and also because it's so many international students. I got to make friends that are not only from Germany, but from all over the world.
The close relationship you have with your tutors, especially because you have a lot of one-on-ones with them, so they help you through everything, whether it's an industry project, whether it's a uni project, they help you through everything.
The diversity in culture, and also I wanted to network a lot, which is what Regents is known for.
The curriculum, first of all, seemed very interesting, and also the campus was just beautiful, and I could really see myself being happy and also motivated to study here.
I wanted to be in central London, the hub for everything, and I thought the campus was very beautiful.
Okay, I know that Jeff, our VC in the video, he said January 25, so that's from last year's video. But anyways, it all stayed the same. Yeah, I was talking to you a lot about global connections and industry leaders, and I know they were mentioned a couple of times now in this video as well. So basically what we do here, we believe that students are in their best when they're challenged, but we're not challenging you through loads of exams and loads of scripts that you have to go through. No, we're challenging you in a little bit of a different way. We believe when you're active participants, when you're learning from some of the best in the business, working on projects and collaborating in teams, that's when you work the best. This is how things are getting done in the real world anyways. So here, CEOs and senior leaders of international brands are joining us on campus to deliver an industry-led education. So you'll take part in a variety of different learning opportunities. So you have a lot of guest lectures, you have a lot of, as I said, master classes and collaborations, focus groups, and live case studies. What that means on an example. For example, you can see this photo here on the side. This is McLaren. So for the past, I would say probably about 3 years, our partners on business courses have been McLaren, have been Estée Lauder, Fortnum & Mason, and Lauren Perrier. So you have different. So you have something from hospitality, something from food and beverage, something from automotive industry, and something from makeup or luxury brands, because Estée Lauder is a part of a big group as well. So we have a lot of collaborations within the group as well. So basically what is happening here on this photo, these are our students from, I don't know, let's say 2 years ago. So someone from McLaren comes to you in class in the beginning of your semester. If you're studying business, for example, you're studying entrepreneurship, somebody comes to you in class and they give you a live case study of something that is happening within the company that's relevant to your course, of course. and they're giving you a live case study of what's happening in the company that you then work on for a grade. So somebody comes in, they give you a lecture, they give you a live problem that is happening in McLaren, and you need to come up with a solution throughout your assessment. And then at the end of the semester, you're submitting your assignment, whatever that is you have been working on throughout your semester. But what you're really working on is a live case study that is actually happening in McLaren. And then you submit your assessment. And then in the next semester, once you finish that, you're going to McLaren then. So this is our students going to McLaren. And then they're seeing what was actually happening and what they were working on. It's shown to them on a real life example. So it's a very, very, I would say, kind of modern, of course, way of studying. But it's also really, really useful because, as I said, this is how things are getting done in the real world. And what we're trying to do here is really equip you. And I'm not saying this just because I'm saying this. I was an international student myself. I know what it's like studying in a big Russell Group university. I studied in a University of Birmingham, was my university, 30,000 students in that university. Nobody knows if you live or die, which is great when you don't want to attend your lectures. But if you want a bit of a more personal approach, if you want someone to take care of you about your ambitions and about your future, you, not just you as a class of 150 people, but you as an individual, then I think a smaller environment such as Regents, a private university where they're really going to put emphasis on internships and on these kind of live case studies is so much more beneficial than being a part of a good university, but that is big. Because a name of a university or good rankings don't really necessarily mean that much as this exposure means in the real world once you're actually graduating. I have another example of Hof and Regents. So basically, this is for fashion design students. I don't know if anyone here is interested in fashion design. Mostly from Turkey, students usually come to us on business courses. But if I have anyone interested in fashion design, for example, this is one of the things you'll be doing and many more interesting things. Our fashion design is very, very strong here. But yeah, we had someone from Hof, so we were collaborating with Hof. I don't know if you ever heard of this brand, but they have a shop here in Regent Street as well. On Oxford Street, sorry. So Hof is a Spanish training designers. So they design trainers basically. So we had Patricia, who is their head of marketing, and their head designer, forgot his name. So they came to university, they pitched something to the students, and they gave them a case study. In this case, the case study was design your own shoe that represents Regents and has a story behind it. So one of the students, this is the design that won between the students. This is the design that they came up with, and this was actually a shoe that was sold in Hof's shops and online all over the world, and it was Regents x Hof collaboration. So some of the collaborations that we have, we're literally bringing them to life, where you can buy something you created while you were a student in a university. And this sneaker went out for like what, £250. You decide if it's worth it or not. But yeah, this is what we do, and you could have bought it. I think this collaboration was probably about a year and a half ago, but it's a very good example of what we do here. I was telling you about, I think I mentioned 100 times, guest lectures and master classes and speaker series. So have a look at some of the people that were here in the university, talking to students and staff.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here. I've heard fantastic things about Regents University. It's really important for us to resonate with future generations.
Also, I think important understanding what AI is capable of doing and what it can't do. It will become such a crucial part of your life, so you have to be smart about how you use it.
Deepfakes are increasingly becoming an issue. If you can tell a story in an original way and give our readers a definitive piece in it, they're still going to come to us and read that. It's trying to do stuff that's original and better.
We've given up retail space for experience. We're in the business of emotions, not transactions. I totally agree with that, particularly when it comes to luxury.
How do we get that new, younger generation that's still associated with the community that is still very obsessed with us?
As long as you're telling stories and you're telling positive stories, things will go okay. This world is still shifting in that direction from selling a product to telling a story.
If you want to have a long-term impact and to be sustainable, make sure that you have a real business vision and that you can work on that and invest on that for a number of years to go.
Building a team is one thing, creating the culture is another. And you can always build teams, but what is culture? And culture, starts from the top.
So these are some of the distinguished guest speakers that came to the university to deliver different talks to students and to staff as well. The Mulberry head of sustainability, I attended that TED talk that was happening here, and he was extremely interested, and it was very well attended. A lot of students there as well. So there's always great opportunities to just be networking in the university. Also, students are networking heavily with whoever goes to their class, because Regents is all about networking. It's all about building that connection. It's all about building that network so you can prosper once you finish university. That's what we're about. So tailored experience. As I mentioned before, we know our students by name. We take time to understand their unique ambitions. That's really important, as I said, because let's face it, these days, I mean, everyone kind of has a degree because it's become a norm. That's just the truth of it. And you need a degree to do basically anything as a young professional these days. But it's what sets you apart from the competition, aside from that degree. Because if everyone has a degree, then what else is there on your CV? What else have you been doing? Who do you know? It comes in play quite a lot once you're looking for a job. That with our curriculum, that's really easy to achieve. We have a flexible curriculum. It enables students to design their own course. When I say design their own course, that's not exactly that way. So you have, for example, a business course. You will have 6 core modules throughout the year, plus you have 2 electives per semester to pick whatever else you want to do. If you want to know more about luxury brand, but you're learning about finance, you can learn more about luxury brand. That can be your elective course. If you want to know more about marketing, that can be your elective course. If you want to know more about photography or design, that can be your elective course. If you want to learn an additional language, we have a variety of languages that we offer to students to learn. I'm currently trying to learn Chinese in the university. It's not doing really well for me, but I'm trying to. But that's something you will have to do throughout your degree. We're forcing you to learn another language, to expand your horizons, not just to stick to what you know and what you chose to study. So it's very interesting like that. You can kind of design your own course. You can adjust it according to your needs and wants. Everyone is paired with a student experience officer. That means you have that one person that is paired to you. Student experience officer, that's your experience all around. This is not just to do with your degree and with your timetable and your course. This is to do with your accommodation as well. They will help you with whatever you need. This is to do just with life in London, because I know it can be overbearing. It can be, it can just be hard on whoever is coming here for the first time. So you have that one person that is assigned to you in the university to be like your big brother or your big sister who's going to take care of you in case you have any questions. As I said, we don't believe in traditional exams. We test practical application. So there is no written exams. Besides finance, I think if you're studying finance, you will have an odd exam about accounting and finance, because there's just no other way to go about this. But everything that we do is practical. Accommodation. So this is our campus from above. I think you were able to see it in a video. This is our accommodation here. So we have our own campus accommodation, and the rest is our lovely university. So we have our on-campus accommodation and we have our off-campus accommodation. In the on-campus one, the one that's here, we have a bunch of twin rooms and we have some single rooms. And the way it functions is first come, first serve. We don't prioritize anyone unless we have students who are starting under the age of 18. At the time of when their course starts, they will definitely be prioritized to get into the accommodation. We still have, although it's 10th, 9th of July. We still have some twin rooms available. So if you're looking for accommodation, if you want to study in Regents, of course, and you're still looking for accommodation, beware that there is still some rooms. They're going really quickly now because the results have come up and everyone is starting to make their final decisions. But just bear in mind that there is still some availability. And yes, this is really good as well. It's a rolling contract, so you can choose how long you want to stay. Basically, if you just want to stay for a month, great. If you want to stay for the full semester, great. If you want to stay for the full year, great. Whatever you want to. And another very important thing to emphasize on when it comes to accommodation, your meals are included in the price of the accommodation. This is the price for the full semester. So this is for the autumn semester, and this is for the spring semester. So let's say if you're staying in a twin room, so this is the on-campus accommodation, Reed Hall. If you're staying in a single room, that would be more expensive for you. Not that much expensive, but like £1,500, which is, yeah, it might be quite a lot for a semester. But if you're okay with staying in a twin room with someone else, which is great. I mean, I know it can be a bit tricky if you're not used to staying with someone in a room, or if you don't have siblings or anything like that. I'm an only child. I know it'd be very difficult for me to get used to sleeping in a room with someone. But if you're okay with that, some of the great friendships, best friends come out of staying in a room together and friends for life. But you know, a lot of things can happen. But if you don't like your flatmates, the person that you're staying in the room with, they will always change your room. So that's okay. So these are the prices. Again, please beware that this meal credit here, 1,400, is included in the price of the room. So you will have breakfast, lunch, and dinner on campus. And honestly, the food on campus is good. Breakfast is amazing. You have a buffet. Lunch is amazing. You have a buffet. And I'm not sure about the dinner because I've never had dinner in the university. I can only tell you about the things that I've tried. But it's, again, kind of similar, the same. So yeah. Thinking about staying in the accommodation, again, it's just here. And if you're worried about safety, if you're worried about security, if you're worried about not finding a place in London, because London can be very tricky when it comes to accommodation and the living situation in general, then I would recommend our accommodation, maybe just for like a one semester or something like that. Once you get used to living in London and meet some friends, then you can move out with them on your second year. I'm not going to go through all of this. These are our undergraduate courses, and all the courses come with a foundation option. If you haven't scored enough in your final exams, if your English is not good enough, we offer some English courses as well. So you can jump on those if you want to do an English course first and then come to us for a degree course. But just be aware that all these courses come with a foundation option. So in case you have to do 4 years instead of 3 years, that's okay. A lot of people do that. So you're more than welcome to. But these are the courses that we do. And yes, new course alert. So we have new architecture course and a new law course. They both have proven to be very popular this year. We have a lot of applications in for law and a little bit less for architecture, but still going strong. So yeah, in case you want to do law or architecture, you can do that with us as well now. For postgraduate courses, not sure if we have any postgraduate students here on the call today, but again, these are the postgraduate courses. Again, I'm not going to go through all of them. They're a bit more heavier on business, marketing, and finance than undergraduate courses are, but still, there's something for everyone in here. But all the courses are, of course, on the website. So if you want to know something about a specific course, please go to the website and find the course. There's a lot of information on every course on the website. Regarding the application process, okay, so these are the entry requirements for Turkey. Again, this is something you can find on the website or you can ask the studying team, but these are the entry requirements for Turkey. Take a screenshot, save them for yourself. Now we have gone into clearing, so they can be even lower. We can accept you on an even lower grade. If you have an even lower grade, we can, but these are our general entry requirements. But they can always be, again, if you have a good CV, if you scored less than what you're supposed to, there's still, a way to get you in Regents. when it comes to academic entry requirements, when it comes to English entry requirements, it is what it is. We can't really bend the rules here. I'll show you them in a second. Supporting documents that you need to get into every university, not just Regents really. So you need, of course, your passport, you need your language, English language proficiency, or if you were doing IB or something like that, A-levels, GCSEs, we can use your English from there. But if you were doing a standard Turkish high school, then you will need an additional English language test. Proof of academic qualifications, that would be this basically. So whatever you have, a high school diploma or a bachelor's degree or whatever that is, that's the academic qualifications. And then proof of UK study history, if you ever had a UK visa, that's not a tourist visa, but a student visa or something like that. And of course, a personal statement. That's all we're asking from you. Sometimes we will ask for a CV, but that would be in cases where the grades are a little bit lower or something like that. So we would need a good CV from you to prove that you're keen to study here. These are the English language requirements, as I told you before. So this is what the rules are in terms of English. These are the tests that we usually accept. We are accepting Duolingo now as well, which has proved a little bit easier for some of the students. So if you want to get on Duolingo, do that. If you have IELTS, that's always great, but IELTS requirements are what they are, and we can't really take anything lower than what it says on here. But we also do our own English proficiency test in-house. That's called the REP test, or now it's called the password test. Doesn't matter, it's all the same. And the process is done in collaboration with Regents English School, and it is free of charge. So if you are keen to come to Regents, the exam is accepted by UKVI, so you will not have any issues in getting your visa with this test. It's completely approved, but you can only use it for Regents. So if you're keen to come to Regents and you want to take our own test, then yeah, do that. I would suggest that. It's free of charge. Why wouldn't you do that? But if you're considering more than one university, then you might want to go to, I don't know, Westminster, that's across the street from us basically, then I would suggest do IELTS, because all the universities are accepting IELTS. Our test is only valid for our university. Tuition fee deposit. So the deposit is £5,000, and the deposit is expected to be paid once the unconditional offer is received. So once you have all the documents that you need to get in, which are basically these documents, as I said before, once you have all of these documents, your offer becomes unconditional, which means that you were offered an unconditional place in the university. Once you pay your overseas deposit, which is £5,000, you can get a scholarship, which is up to £4,000, and we still have a lot of those as well. So if you want a scholarship, that's it. That is here. Please speak to your agent or speak to me directly, and we can figure out your scholarship. But the deposit is £5,000. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Once you pay your £5,000 deposit, then you move on to the CAS stage. CAS stage is this basically. So CAS and visa process. CAS stage is where you submit all the documents you need to receive your CAS letter, and CAS letter is something that you use to obtain your visa. This is how it works. So to acquire CAS, before students make their visa application, they must have a CAS letter, an electronic document confirming they meet the requirements and hold sufficient funds you need to get into UK university. And for that, this is what you need to provide. But honestly, don't worry about that as much now, because once the time comes, I'm not going to go... Sorry, very loud.
No problem.
Sorry. Once the time comes for you to enter the CAS stage and do your visa process, I'm sure that the team will have all the information there for you. So I don't want to confuse you too much with this, but if you have any questions at the end of it, I will be happy to explain them to you. But I'm just going to go through this now because it doesn't matter. We're here to talk about Regents and what you need to do to get in. This comes later on. Again, this is another thing that comes later on, but it's financial evidence. So once they ask you to show financial evidence, you have to show you have enough money using either a bank statement showing money in your account or a bank statement statement with approval letter from your parents or anyone who is sponsoring you, basically. Or, of course, a student loan, if a student loan is what you're using to pay for your tuition fee. Bank statements, these are the rules for bank statements. So basically, yeah, and this is how much money you need to be showing in your account for London. So if you're going to be studying in London, this is the amount, at least minimum amount that you have to show besides the tuition fee in your account once you're applying for it, once you're applying for your visa. Scholarships, as I said, we have a variety of different scholarships. If you want to study architecture or you want to study law, I have what it says here, please ignore that. It says 5 students only, but we can get more scholarships because I think we already used up the 5, but I know there's more going around. So the reward amount is £5,000 off of tuition fee every year. So overall, this is rare. Not a lot of universities offered this for every single year. I mean, same as us. Until recently, even we didn't offer this. But we have a £5,000 scholarship off of each year of tuition fee for law and architecture, if you want to study those. If you want to study all the other courses, there's a variety of scholarships from £1,000 to £4,000. Off of first year tuition fees, and everyone is eligible. You just have to apply for it. These are some events that are happening on campus. So we have a Regents Difference, which is hosted every other month. And it's a big, massive, amazing open day where you get to speak to every single academic that works here, to every single support staff. You get to see the campus. You get to see how we teach and what we do here. So if you're around London in August, please let me know and I will share the dates with you, but you can find them on our website as well. Campus tours, we have an open door policy. If you want to come in any day, whenever you want to, if you're in London, just want to pop by to see the campus, please just come in, walk through to the reception, and reception will let us know that somebody's here and they need to be taken to a campus tour. And one of our team members is always happy to show you the campus. Also, we have virtual open days, but you can find out more on our website if you're interested. These are some of the tips. I can give you more tips like from my personal experience as an international student, but I would definitely say focus on whatever, of course, you're doing now and think about the undergraduate course, which will give you the best foundation for the future, of course. But then again, on the back of that, I would also say, as someone who was an international student, don't worry about it too much, especially if I studied international business as well. As I said, the University of Birmingham, big university, it doesn't really, it doesn't mean anything. You're studying business. What do you want to do with that business degree? Think about it a little bit. I know that you're probably only 18, 19, and you just want to study whatever you like at this point of time, which is great. But just think about what else can you do besides that degree that will help you boost your CV and help you make you into that young professional that you want to be once you leave the university. What else? What kind of skills can you work on throughout your degree? When is your part-time job that you can do? I always tell everyone, regardless of the money, this is not about finances, do your part-time work. Because once you finish your degree, an employer is going to come, and let's say we have Ivana, me here, and we have Atif, who has a really good CV because he worked while he studied, even if he worked in a pub. And we have me, on the other hand, who has just been studying, and I was the best student ever, and I was very good, and Atif was probably, taking my homework and writing from me. But at the end of the day, once we finish, we both studied the same course, we get a degree from the same course. Of course, Atif is going to be more competitive in a job interview than me, because the only thing I had is my degree. Well, Atif has done his degree, plus he worked. He was a part of a student union. He was a part of this project, that project. You can put these days whatever you want on your CV, but something has to be there, something that you do, something that you are proud of, something that has, brought you to where you are now. So I always say, boost your CV. That's the only way you're going to be separated from the competition once the time comes. Seek internships. This is something I forgot to mention, and this is very, very important. In Regents, talking about all the industry connections, global connections in Regents, internships are very important to us, and we put a lot of emphasis on those. This is again something we can do because we're a small university. Big university doesn't guarantee you an internship. In Regents, internships are guaranteed. If you want an internship, it's yours. So on your second semester, you either get a choice on all the courses to either do your internship or to do a study abroad term, which basically means some students go to Italy for 6 months, or Spain or Singapore or somewhere in the world, while some students do their internship for 6 months. It's up to you what you want to do. There again, both are good on your CV. Internship might be better on your CV in the long run, but a lot of the students that do the internships are doing internships in one of the companies that I showed you before, great companies. Not necessarily, some of them are great, some of them are less great, they're all great. All the internships are useful, and they're all great to put on your CV again, and to, just learn something about yourself and enhance on your business skills. But basically, we're putting students in with great internships, and then a lot of these students come back to work for these companies once they finish their courses. There was a student who worked in throughout the summer, she would work in our recruitment team. She was great. She was amazing. She got an internship in Regents for Dunhill, and she ended up working for them at the end. And that's the case that I know personally, because she stayed my friend to this day. She's a little bit younger than me, but she's a lovely girl. And she got, from her internship at Dunhill, she went to work for Dunhill in the end. And it's a massive company that's here based in London, basically. So yeah, a lot of great examples of how internships turned into long-term work. When you're doing a person...
which typically students find internships in which sectors?
Okay, in different sectors, because when it comes to, when you're, for example, a business student, you can go into anything, can you? Like, for example, you can end up in Estée Lauder, or you can end up in Meta, you can end up in, I don't know, a consultancy, you can end up in so many different places, because when you're studying business, it's up to you what you think will suit you best in terms of the industries that you're going to go into. For example, again, me as an example, I studied business and I ended up in education. What we do is education, right? After university, I went to a different university to work. Okay, this has nothing to do with internship, but this is what I mean. Studying business gives you so many opportunities. You can do whatever you want. But in terms of the industries where students go for internships, on courses which are where they have to have relevant internships, such as interior design, fashion design, psychology, etc., they will always go into internships that are related to them. On a business course, however, you can end up wherever. You can end up in Estée Lauder, or you can end up in McLaren. Who knows? It's up to you, of course, as an individual. Again, because we're small, we're giving you a chance to pick. The professors know you, they know what you're a bit more interested in, and then they're going to guide you in that direction. And because, again, we are a luxury brand in itself, we have an in with all these different luxury brands, so you're always going to end up in a good company. That's it. I don't know exactly what stream they all go into, but considering our partners are McLaren, Estée Lauder, Laurent Perrier, there's so many different industries that they end up in. Also, you can pick your own internship if you have a family business. Well, it has to be UK based though, so that's a bit tricky because a lot of our students are international. But a lot of people have their own businesses, so maybe they want to do 6 months in their own business and enhance that business and use that time to work on that, and then come back to finish their degree. So yeah.
In their home country, you mean? It's possible.
Sorry?
They can do the internship in their home country, you mean?
No. So that's not possible. That's why I said that. That's why I think I jumped ahead too quickly, because a lot of the students are international. So they're companies, if they own a company or if their families own a company, which is a case for many students in Regents, they can't go home to do their internship. It would have to be something here. But some of them who have businesses based in UK, some of them just do the internship in their own company. But I think it's useful to go somewhere else and do it for a big corporation, so you see how the operations work. Because if you have your own business, you can always go back and do that once you finish your degree. And most of you probably will if you have your own business, which is absolutely natural. But maybe then for your internship while you're in the university or for your part-time work, maybe choose something completely different so you have a different experience. That's what I would advise you, maybe. When you're doing a personal statement, please don't use AI, because universities know it's not good. Understand the application process. I explained it to you briefly, but obviously the studying team, I know they're doing an amazing.
We will help about that.
The team is here to help you for all of that, so that's fine. If possible, attend university open days if you can. If you find yourself in London, again, we have an open door policy, so if you're ever in London, just come down and visit us. Anyways. And make sure you plan your finances and your accommodation. Accommodation is very important in London. So this is the only thing that I can say that can potentially be tricky when you're looking from the outside in. It's very hard to find accommodation when you're looking from Turkey into UK and you don't know anyone, you don't know where you want to live. So I always recommend everyone stay in that student accommodation, even though you maybe don't want to. Stay in that student accommodation for 1 term or maybe the full year, meet some other people, meet some friends, make some friends, and then go and live together by yourselves. Once you finish, that's what I would suggest if you're going by yourself for the first time. And this is a good story from Regents. For example, this is how we boost entrepreneurship. This is how we work, basically. So I'm just going to show you this, and then I think we're done. It's just a 2-minute video.
Regents had a very interesting program. There was a lot of work, sort of internships and things like that. So I ended up going to Bucharest, for example, as a part of my university degree. And that's where I met my partners, who then I started Icon 7 with. Icon 7 actually started here at Regents University. My name is Shayan Mahmood, and I studied international business with Mandarin as a language. I am the chairman of a company called Trademore. I am the managing partner of a creative agency called Icon 7. Then we have Pro Pakistani. It's Pakistan's largest online publisher. I'm the CEO for that as well. We're in the business of storytelling, so I'm going to think it's quite worthwhile. But I think you can talk about social media and you can talk about the internet changing things. But one thing that will never go out of fashion is a story and something human beings connect to. We're social animals. We don't buy products. We buy ideas, people, beliefs, and that'll never change. Culture is something I talk about a lot with my friends, teams, people, everybody. It's so hard to create because it literally is its own being, right? You cannot create the culture. Regents has a culture. You can't make the culture. It just is. There was a lot of entrepreneurial spirit here, and there was a lot of business spirit. So my friends here, even till today, I had a massive impact on me, and sort of just observing them and learning from them. So the entrepreneurial spirit was unique here. Being on Forbes was pretty great. I recently got like a silver button from YouTube. That was pretty cool. We were Alibaba's channel partner, like the best partner in the world. That all doesn't really, it doesn't matter as much. Like, for example, this is probably more meaningful than that. You could, just because this is emotional for me. I studied here, I lived here, this was my life, right? That sometimes feels like it's too surreal to even connect to, if that makes any sense.
That's it. Here are some of the emails that you might find relevant. It's my email basically, but you got your teams here. They're always here to support you. They're always in touch with me, and they're really amazing in everything they do. I love working with the team here. So please, whatever inquiries you might have, just go straight to the team, or you can come straight to me. It's absolutely the same. And that's it. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you very much, Ivana. You covered almost everything for Regents University London. Thank you very much. It's very valuable for us. And for those who wants to apply to Regents University London, can connect with study in Ankara, Istanbul, Izmir offices, as well Bakü offices.
Amazing.
Thank you very much.
Does anyone have any questions?
We had some questions, but those you mentioned already.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Then I've done my job.
Yeah.
If you guys have any questions, you have my email here. I will leave my email once again here. But you got the team who knows everything, maybe even better than me, honestly. Especially when it comes to CAS, especially when it comes to the application process. Just go to the team and that's it really. I can wait for if there's any more questions. Do you think, Atif, is it worth mentioning anything else? Do you think I forgot something?
No, let me check if there are some questions. For the how does the university support students during their first months in London?
Okay, that's a very good question. How does the university support students? So you have a student experience officer who's there for you to answer whatever questions you might have, and that goes beyond your classes and your timetable. So they're there to answer anything you have about accommodation, etc. The academics, again, because you always have a small class size. For example, if you're studying a business course, which are always the biggest, business courses are always the biggest in size, you will never have more than like 30 students in a class. So that means that the academics know you. They're very, very approachable, very nice people. I like them a lot. And you can always approach them and ask whatever you need to. But honestly, this is such a relaxed university. I know what it's like being in a big university. This is a completely different vibe because the services are here to help you. So now that depends on what you need help with. If you need help with accommodation, we're here to support you. If you need help about what to do in London and how to find your place, how to find a part-time job, how to build your CV, so it's so you can use it here in a UK market a little bit better. You have your careers team, you have an alumni team. There's so many different services that can support you. But honestly, the university is full of young people who are all really nice. Everyone is very approachable. If you see me walking down the hall, just stop me and ask me, Ivana, I have a question for you. So everyone is very keen to help because not just the university is international, but students' numbers are international, but we're international as well. All of us are internationals here. A lot of British people as well, of course, but a lot of international people who have been in your shoes once. I've been in your shoes once. I know what it's like. I will do anything to help you. And I'm sure everyone else feels the same way. But that depends now on what you need help with.
Yeah. Thank you.
Perfect.
Yeah. And you talked about new programs. There's such a questions. You mentioned already law and architecture with foundation degree. And there's a question: what makes Regents campus experience unique? I think the gardens of Regents.
Yeah, definitely. What makes it unique? I would say the location. Yes, definitely. You're right. The location definitely makes it unique, and the those internships and the opportunities you might have in terms of like who's coming to you in class, the way you're studying. That thing. What Regents is famous for, I would say, industry connections. So that the location in the park, and being private. Being private because a lot of universities are public, so the services and the treatment that you're getting in a private university might be a bit different than what you're getting in a public university.
Of course,
That's what I would say. Those three are really what Regents is kind of separated from the competition. Everything else is a university, same as every other, I would say. Not to lie to you, to be very honest with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
You are done.
Thank you. It was very lovely. Thank you for having me. And yeah, if there's any other questions, anything at all, please find me. You can email me, you can call me, you can ask the team to call me. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Have a,
Enjoy the rest of your day.
yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Bye bye. Bye.
Bye bye.